3, 4. East Coast Canada Podcast. East Coast Canada Podcast. East Coast Canada Podcast. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the East Coast Canada Podcast. My name is Dylan.
My name is JL.
And we are from, well, you've probably already guessed it, East Coast Canada. We live in New Brunswick. We live in Moncton. You probably have heard of that before, only if you're from Canada. If you're not from Canada, you probably haven't heard about it.
Or maybe from Maine. You never know.
Oh yeah, if you're from Maine, then you've definitely heard about it. Because Maine is pretty much like part of Canada.
Well, it's almost Canada, really.
I mean, it's like Toronto and those places is lower on the map than Maine is.
That's what we should do. We should cut Toronto off, put them in the States, and we'll take over Maine. Let's do that.
Okay, let's do it. Toronto's a bunch of assholes anyway. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really know anybody from Toronto.
We love you, Toronto people. It's just a joke. Dylan's being an asshole.
The highest populated city in Canada. I'm pretty sure it's Toronto.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. By far.
I think so. All right, so yeah, like my name is Dylan. This is JL. We live in Moncton. Not from Moncton, but I'm actually from. Well, we're both from, I guess, the same area. I come from northern New Brunswick, like pretty much almost the very tip of New Brunswick. Where are you from, JL?
And I'm surrounded by water where I am. It's right on the eastern tip of New Brunswick.
Northeastern tip, yeah.
Yeah. North Shore, we call it there.
So I guess you could say we're both from the North Shore, and we came down to Moncton. And a lot of people saying that people from up north are stealing the jobs of Monctonians.
But stealing our job.
But we don't care because
we have no choice, really.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Anyway, so it's our first podcast, and we didn't really know what we were gonna do, but I guess we're gonna talk about.
Well, I'd say since Halloween just passed, I think we should tell or talk about ghost stories, maybe some haunted things. I know there's quite a few ghost stories, or I guess legends, from actual New Brunswick, which I find pretty incredible.
Let's talk about, I think we should start with Moncton, and we should talk about Rebecca Lutz.
This is a pretty famous tale. I only heard about this little after I first moved here.
I think I'm the one who told you about it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, it's the story of this girl who they thought she was a witch, and they hung her, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I believe that they hung her, and then they buried her upside down in the ground, and they poured a slab of concrete over top of her, her
grave,
her
I guess.
Grave. Now they call it Rebecca's grave, and people still go and try to find it. It's it's weird street.
Yeah, it's on a very not really going to try to explain it if you're listening to this, because if you're listening to this and you're not from Moncton, you'll probably never go see it. But it's basically on this stretch of road that goes on forever. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you're going to miss it. Because even the first time I went to see it, I missed it.
Oh, me too.
3 times.
Big time.
And
we went year after year trying to find it, and no luck whatsoever. It was just... It's in, you really gotta know where it is. It's got, that little creepy, little rusty metal fence around it. And it's, under a tree. And the only way, we found it because someone had left candles on the slab of concrete.
Yeah.
Which was really fucking creepy,
When I went to see it, there was nothing, because I wasn't even around Halloween. I think it was late November I went to see it, so everything was gone. But, no, I knew where it was, I knew what road it was on, but I didn't actually know where to look. If somebody would have told me it was across from an old concrete production plant, then I would have found it.
But you gotta know that it was an old concrete plant, because you look at it, you're like, oh, here's a shitty old building.
Yeah.
You don't know, right?
Yeah. So I basically just did a quick Google search of Rebecca's grave, and basically, yeah, it's pretty much everything we said. It was in the 1870s.
Do you have a picture of her? you know
Do I have a
which-
picture of her?
But I mean, like, oh yeah, do you have a picture of her in your wallet?
Yeah, I keep one in my wallet. Yeah.
I was just curious to see what she looked like because I've never really seen any pictures. Like
Okay.
I assume they're in
The
black and
only
white.
yeah, the only one I've ever seen was this one. I know people listening can't really see it.
But yeah, how do we know it's her though? Like that's the thing.
Exactly, you don't really know. And then
It
there's
says
this.
Luke's family, but
Yeah, there's this picture, and apparently your name was Susan. I don't know where Rebecca came from. I have no idea. But yeah, so like
maybe
he was,
maybe that's not the right picture.
maybe it's something completely different.
Maybe it's their aunt or something.
But yeah, even if like I just did a quick Google search of Rebecca Lutz Moncton, and you get a bunch of sites. Like it's not hard to find at all. You even get pictures of her grave.
No, that's why we tried like 4 or 5 times each trying to find it. No, it's not hard to find. Yes, it is a little bit hard to find.
I mean on Google. If you're listening and you just Google a quick Google search, you can find it. So yeah, that is one, I guess, spooky urban legend about New Brunswick.
There must be more in Moncton, like more spooky stories. I mean, it's full of old houses and stuff. Like, and I bet you a town that would have a lot of haunted stuff would be Amherst, Nova Scotia.
I feel like that is a creepy ass town. I don't know why.
They have that street where like it's all old Victorian houses and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've
And
been
it's-
there.
Like you
Yeah.
drive there in the middle of the summer and it's creepy. So imagine that.
Imagine around like Christmas. I guess Christmas. Imagine like around like Halloween time when everybody's.
In the fall at night, you know, you don't like. Oh yeah, it's like 100% creepy.
Yeah. But
Let's talk about the ship, the ghost ship.
yeah, that's called. Let me do a quick Google search here. I think it's called the Ghost Ship of
Chaleur
Bay. There you
Yeah.
go. So if anybody's curious or doesn't know what Chaleur Bay is, it's the Bay of Chaleur. No, but it's basically the I guess the water between New Brunswick and Quebec. If you can like look at a map or anything, that's what's called. It's the Bay of Chaleur. So yeah, and if I do a quick Google search of Ghost Ship of Chaleur Bay, and it just says the legend of the Phantom Ship. And I've actually heard stories from people that said they did see something.
Same here. Like someone told my grandfather back in the days that they were fishing and they saw the boat and the buddy had like a motorboat, whatever. So he decided to go as close as he could, and he got closer, and the ship would just disappear and reappear somewhere else, you know. And he said he could hear the chains and all that. I don't know if it's probably, I don't know. It's probably not true, but
No,
it's
but
kind of creepy, you know.
yeah, that's a very touchy topic for a lot of people because like you could easily tell ghost stories and then somebody would just be like, oh, but that's all fake. And then because if you heard stories from somebody else, you can't prove their story, so you would have to be the one to experience it and tell it, and for it to be, I guess, sort of believable.
Did you hear any other stories about it?
The only thing I can think of was it was like 10 years ago or something. Sorry, I had to swallow. I don't know why it took so long. Yeah, so I was saying it was like 10 years ago I heard somebody talk about it and they said they saw it. They said they saw it. And they said it was a really foggy night. And
Oh,
they
they
said,
always say that. It's always in the fog for some reason.
yeah, I guess fog is this. But anyway, and they were looking in the water, and then really, really far in the distance, they saw like orange light, like flames or something. But I guess it could be really anything. But
I heard that too. They said they see fire and stuff.
well, the reason why is because that ship used to be, it was a ship and it burned, so that's why it's called a. So every like all the stories that I see, it's always of a ship that's on fire or a ship that's on fire, I guess.
You know what? Growing up, I've been looking for it because I was right on the coast. So I would sit like by the water and watch on foggy days and stuff. Never seen it.
No.
Not
Well, that's the thing. If you sit and wait for it, you'd probably never see it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of okay. The fog is here. Where are you? Like, and you just sit there. You wait, and what a waste of a day.
Yeah,
Really.
basically. But like, See, the thing I don't get about like ghost stories and things like this is when is a good time to see it? When does the ship come out?
Well, I guess every time people see it, they're just busy doing something though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you could say their mind's playing tricks on them and all this, but
I think it's just because they're old.
there's a lot of old people that tell those tales.
It's always old people for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen like a 23-year-old saying, "Hey man, I saw the boat."
Yeah,
like,
you never
yeah,
see
yeah.
young people. It's always older people.
Well,
Maybe after a while the ghost ship like dies and you don't see it anymore. So only old people have ever seen it.
Maybe.
It could be.
Do we have another story?
Um,
Oh, another story, another.
be Rebecca Lutz, the ghost ship. I know there was a haunted hotel, I think, in New Brunswick.
Wasn't that in Moncton? Maybe Fredericton. I don't know.
I'm not Fredericton. Oh, actually, speaking of Fredericton, yeah, this is good. I'm getting ideas. When we went on our, I know with people in school, I know for us it was
your,
grade 8. Yeah,
your grade 8
Grade
trip.
8. We went on this big, huge grade 8 trip. We went to Fredericton from from where I was from, and it's not that big of a trip. It was only a 3-hour drive. But anyway, we went on this thing.
Just to make like on my grade 8 trip, I went to Montreal. Imagine that. And you
Yeah,
went
and
to
on my
Fredericton.
on my brother's grade 8 trip, he's 5 years older than me. He went to Ottawa. Went to Ottawa. They had a fucking awesome time,
Was
and I
it
went.
because you guys like didn't like get enough money or something, or?
I think the school just cut back on it. Like even though the kids are supposed to pay their way, I don't know why they stopped it. I can't remember. But
Okay.
I know the last person I think that I know that went to Ottawa was my brother. But I know when my friend Trevor, when he went on his grade 8 trip, he went to Fredericton. That it was their first year going, and he was 3 years ahead of me, I think. But anyway, we went to Fredericton, and if you don't know Fredericton, you've probably heard about it. It's the capital of New Brunswick. So I mean, if you study geography a little bit in school, you probably heard about it. Anyway, so we went on this thing called the Haunted Hike, I think it was called, and basically what they did is they took us on a walk around Fredericton at night, and they had this tour guide. He was really creepy. He was dressed like Elizabethan era. He looked kind of like Shakespeare. He had like a lantern. It was really creepy. And
That was like during the day, right?
No, it was at night.
Oh, it was that night.
Yeah, yeah, it was like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So we were walking around Fredericton at like going through like it wasn't like downtown. It was more like through like these little back streets, and they had this little trail that we were following and stuff. So yeah, there was that guy, and then he would just he played the part really good. He had like an accent and everything. So he took us to. I remember he took us, and he just kept telling stories, but like I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember much of it, but I know there was this one that really sort of creepy, I guess. We went to this cemetery in Fredericton, and they actually had this actor girl who dressed in all white.
That she was just walking around or whatever.
Yeah, and okay, the story was, I think it was, now, bear with me, I think it was something like somebody died and they were buried.
In
and
the
then,
cemetery, someone died there.
I don't know if they died in the cemetery, but they were buried there, whatever. And some people said they kept seeing a ghost of this woman walking through the grave to the building, I think. And it's so creepy because when you looked at the grass was dead, as if somebody always walked there, but there's not really a trail there.
Like a little bicycle trail.
Yeah, it was like, well, if you walk in a trail on the grass for so long, it dies and it turns to dirt. It looked like that. So yeah, they had this this actress. She was in a big white dress and she looked creepy as hell. And she was walking and she was singing like an old lullaby or something. It was really creepy. But I wish I could remember a lot more of that haunted thing or haunted hike or whatever I did. But
Is that still a thing? Like, well, I mean, that was a while ago, right?
like going like the
Like, can you check up if online if that's still something that exists, that tour?
haunted. Actually, it might, because I just searched it and see this building here. I know people listening can't see this, but this is for me and JL.
Oh yeah, we have a similar building like that here.
Yeah, and I remember that building because I remember this guy talked about the windows. They're curved windows.
Okay.
And,
it looks like just so you guys know, it looks like a tower. It's like an old creepy Stephen King looking house. Like it's got, is it bricks? Yeah, it's like brick, and it's got like some kind of a tower at the front and like a pointy little roof.
Yeah, it has like I guess a really big pillar you can go in. It's like sunrooms, I guess, on all 3 floors. But yeah, the one thing I can remember about this house was the windows. It was curved windows, and when this house was built, they didn't really make curved windows in Canada. So what they had to do was ship it from overseas somewhere, and they would ship it by ship. And the guy told us they shipped it in a big container of molasses.
Oh, so it wouldn't break.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it would stay in there, but it, not solid. So that was one thing that I remember he told us.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and just to see, like, I'm not sure if what they brought us on this haunted hike. I don't know if it was like just for kids or just for our group.
They must have one for adults, which would be creepier than the one for the kids.
Yeah, it might be because we were, like I said, we were in grade 8, so I was probably like
13?
14. Yeah, 13 or 14. But yeah, I think that might be the. So yeah,
Plus, they probably had to keep it like you know, like because it was a school trip, so they couldn't be as creepy as they, you know.
yeah, they're probably. So I mean, look, like it's an actual. Okay, so if you're listening at home and you're in the New Brunswick area or you're in the East Coast,
$14 for an adult. $9 for children.
yeah, so it's pretty cheap if you're a child. But yeah, it's downtown Fredericton. That's
Just
the tour.
shave your beard and stuff, and try to pass to that
Yeah,
12-year-old.
hopefully you have a baby face like I do.
I heard a friend of mine said there was this haunted house in Miscou, which I've never been. I don't know. I only heard like 1 or 2 stories about it. Like there was, they went in there and apparently there was like a knife, like in the wall or something, but nobody can take it out for some reason. Like there's like something, and apparently you can feel like
That's creepy.
people like touching your shoulders and all that shit. Like,
Oh god.
and then that knife. Apparently everybody tries to take it off and like nobody can. It's just there. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what it is.
I know there's this house up my way. It's on like the old road from my like I'm gonna say some town names, but if you're listening, you probably won't know where it is. Like between, I guess like Beldoon and Dalhousie.
Okay.
There's like an old road they call it. It's just a road that follows the water basically. And there's a house there. They say it's haunted. I know people who said they went in and they heard or saw whatever, but like I remember it used to be like people would go in there. There's actually quite a few houses back home that are haunted.
See, you guys are lucky. We don't have any haunted anything at home. Like it's like ghosts. Where like, hey, we need haunted stuff here
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah, I know. Come on, haunted. Come on, demons. Come on, ghosts. Give us some entertainment.
Yeah, we just have nothing. Like Carrigat area. Carrigat is a city. Well, it's small. No, it's a town on the eastern tip of New Brunswick. Also, but yeah. So we don't have anything haunted other than that stupid ship that nobody can see. Like, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, this house that I said was supposedly haunted. I've heard people go in there and they like. I mean, the thing is like we can think about it now and be like, oh yeah, we're not going to be scared. But if it's nighttime and we go in there, your outlook is totally different. You're probably like a bitch basically. You're like, oh my, you're like scared of everything because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, it's in the dark.
And plus it's in the dark. But anyways, yeah, that house, like that was a really old house and like the roof collapsed or something. There's nobody living there obviously, but like the roof collapsed and nobody can go in there anymore. That was years ago that happened.
All right, so I think we should take a 5. So we'll be right back.
Yeah, let's take a 5. We'll be right back.
East Coast Canada Podcast. East Coast Canada Podcast.
East Coast Canada Podcast. And we're back. We just had a quick little 5-minute break there. Little smoke break, little coffee break. But we are back. So yeah, just to touch back on the topic that we were talking about a while ago, haunted stories and stuff. I actually have a small, I guess, one of my, an experience, I guess you'd call it.
Anecdote.
that I experienced when I was, oh God, when was this? It was summer.
I still don't believe that story 100%.
Well, let me tell the story and we'll let the audience be the judge. So I think this was summer of 2010 because I remember I was hanging out with a group of people and like that was the year that we all hung out. So let's say it was 7 years ago. I would have been 16, whatever. So I remember it was like, it wasn't at nighttime. It wasn't like creepy. It wasn't a creepy environment. It was in the middle of the day. We're all sitting at the table talking. And there was a glass of water on the table, somebody's glass of water. I don't know. So anyway, we were all sitting around talking. And then there was people's hands on the table and stuff. But nobody's hands was near that cup of water. And everybody saw it, which is the best part of it. Like, it wasn't just like somebody was like, oh, did you see that move? And it was like, no, I didn't see it. But like we were all talking or whatever, and then all of a sudden, there was a cup of water on the table. It moved about, I would say, at least 6 inches. It just like moved as if somebody pushed it. But nobody actually did because nobody was around it. And we all saw it, and it was really creepy, and it creeped us out a lot. And
Did the water spill at all, or?
it didn't spill, but it was like half full. It moved, and like the water was still moving in the cup when it moved. So like obviously it wasn't just like obviously it moved. But anyway, there was 2 of our friends that was with us, and they actually have quite a few things that happened to them too that was a little weird. So what I'm thinking is whatever that was. I mean, it could have been nothing, but let's say it was something that moved the glass. Then it could be something that was attached to one of those persons, because those are people that I said that like they had a couple stories like that themselves.
And you said nobody was around that table? Like you guys were just looking at the table?
No.
It was around it?
It was a round table. Like, you know those tables, they're like, it's wood and it's round and you can like separate it and put a big centerpiece?
Yeah.
It was one of those. There was, let's say 5 of us. Yeah, there was my brother, his girlfriend at the time, and 2 of our friends and me. So it was 5 of us around the table.
Are you sure like nobody played a prank on you, like kicked the table or some shit?
That's the thing. We thought somebody moved it, but the closest person to the cup was probably like...
There's always gonna be someone in the friend group that's gonna be like, I swear to fucking God, man, I didn't do it. But you fucking know he did it, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's always a thing, like...
But the thing is, it's not like everybody saw the glass move and we were like, oh, what happened there? It was like everybody saw the glass move, but while it moved, everybody sort of like put their eyes on the glass because it was moving, and then I think the closest person that was to it was, I'm not sure who it was, but they were kind of like, they had their elbows on the table and it was kind of like this far away. So even if they would have moved it, we would have seen their arm come back. But yeah, I think that was the only thing that ever happened to me that was unexplainable, I guess.
My old neighbor, who lived upstairs where I live now, said that one time she was in her house, like, just doing whatever, I don't know, watching TV or whatever, and all of a sudden, the doors in the kitchen opened by themselves.
Wow.
And the house where I live now.
Where you live.
Where I live, yeah.
And JL lives in a quite old house. I'd say it's probably...
I think the neighbor next door said his house was built in 1904, so mine would be like probably around that era.
Yeah, because I've been in houses that I know for a fact are over 100 years old, and your house looks the same. Like, it has those creepy wooden doors with like little keyholes and stuff.
And that weird little like doorbell thing. Did you see it?
Yeah, like you turn it.
It looks like a thing like you would put on your bicycle as a kid, like the ding ding ding. It's
yeah,
weird.
and that's it was this house that I've been to too.
But like sometimes I swear to God, like I'm in where I play music and stuff, and like sometimes I feel like I'm being watched maybe, and I know like my girlfriend's not home, my cat doesn't give a fuck, like I know she's not watching me, so like sometimes I play music or whatever, and I have headphones on and all, and like I feel like I'm being watched, or maybe like I turn around and I feel like I could see like not a shadow, but like someone like walking fast or something, like you just see like a flash kind of thing. I know it's probably bullshit because I'm by myself in there, and you know, like I don't really believe in ghosts all that much.
Yeah.
But like it's just it's weird.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, this whole thing with the ghosts and stuff and weird stuff to happen to people. It could happen to somebody, and then they could be like, "Oh yeah, it was a ghost. I know for sure it was a ghost." And then some people would be like, "Oh, what the hell was that? I don't know what that was." Like it, and it all depends how you say the story too, because I think if like if a particular person believes in ghosts and they say a story like that, they're sort of
Well, if you know they believe in ghosts, you're like, you're bullshitting. Like,
Yeah.
everybody knows you believe in ghosts. It's probably bullshit, you know. But when you don't believe in ghosts and then shit like that happened to you, you're like, holy fuck. Was it really
there's
a
no
ghost?
there's no really an explanation for it. And like just for example, like there's some people who they say they don't believe in it. Like my father's a good example. He's always like, "Oh yeah, all that ghost stuff is bullshit and stuff." And but he still watches those ghost shows that come on.
Oh, yeah.
I love watching those shows, to be honest. Every time I think there's my favorite one is Ghost Adventures, but it's just a really interesting show. Even if it's all fake, I just love the whole, I guess, the experience.
Have you
of
ever
it.
seen Kroll Show? Have you ever watched Kroll Show?
Kroll Show?
Yeah.
No.
It's got that thing called Ghost Bouncers. They dress like douchebag from like kind of like Jersey Shore, I would say, but they search for ghosts and they have like that. They have like those cameras with like night vision and all that stuff. Is that like Ghost Adventure? Is it like that kind of thing or?
Well, Ghost Adventures, yeah, it's just like a group of like, let's say 7 people, and they go to these haunted places and they set up cameras and they go in at like 4 in the morning when it's like the creepiest, and they try to find stuff. Yeah, like they try to find stuff on camera, and they have like this big huge setup. But
Oh, they have those like recorders and like those things that work with like what is that, like infrared or whatever.
yeah, they have a lot of equipment actually. They have like infrared. They have this weird tool that's kind of cool, I guess. What it is it like it looks like a phone, like a smartphone, and it looks like an app, I guess. I don't like. I think it's an actual machine.
It's a radar.
Yeah, basically what it does is like if, let's say, if a ghost said something, it like plays it on the thing. Like it's really weird. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it picks up ghost languages.
I think your cat's going crazy there. Maybe she saw a ghost.
Yeah, maybe. My cat's crazy anyway, so yeah. So yeah, I think so that's they use all these type of equipment.
See, that's so weird because those guys, they use a fuck ton of equipment. And then there's this random Joe Blow that walks in the house like, oh my god, this place is haunted.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I saw a ghost.
Yeah.
But yet didn't have any equipment. Like,
Yeah, like that show too, they only go to places where they've seen ghosts multiple times. Like remember this one episode, it was like
was there one in like a boat or something?
Yes, I think. There must have been, because there has to be haunted ships out there somewhere. But anyways, hold on, give me a second. She's playing with this. Cat was playing with a piece of paper. I can hear through the mic.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Yeah, I kind of lost topic.
Ghost ship. They were on a ship.
The cat's going crazy here.
What's
She saw a ghost, man, I'm telling you. Oh yeah, she saw a ghost.
Yeah, she's on my foot now.
They also say if I've heard that somewhere, it's probably bullshit, whatever. But apparently, if you have cats, like ghosts are scared of cats. Have
I
you
heard
of
that. I heard that too.
Yeah, it like keeps the ghost away from your house if you have a cat.
Yeah, I don't know why. And like this whole thing about like dogs can see ghosts, but humans can't. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's creepy too. Like, I
But,
can't.
like, I wonder if ghosts are scared of dogs.
I don't know.
Because if they're scared of cats, would they be scared of dogs?
I don't know.
Big question of the day.
That's the question of the day. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. But like, I don't know.
Are you gonna find out on Wikipedia?
What's that?
Are you gonna-
No, yeah, no. I was just looking to make sure my my thing was still recording or whatever. But so yeah, I think that pretty much covers the whole ghost topic. I think we were on like the topic of ghosts for like 25 minutes.
Huh. Not bad.
So yeah, what now? What do you want to talk about? What's on your mind?
Well, I think what we should do is more research because
Yeah.
like I think I ran out of ghost stories and haunted stuff in New Brunswick anyway in general.
Yeah, so like obviously you guys know this is our first podcast. This is basically my cat keeps I don't know.
Knocking the mic.
Yeah, you can hear it. So yeah, this is for our first podcast. So like next time we'll be more prepared. It's probably going to be a lot more interesting. I know this one was kind of like a test run. We talked about a lot of cool things, which is cool. But yeah, next time we're definitely going to be
More prepared. We'll have probably more than one topic. Like we'll go. Well, are we gonna do that? Like, are we gonna go with one topic like for like 20 minutes and then do another topic?
Yeah, and that's the thing about I think with this whole podcast thing is, you pick. Let's say, okay, yes, let's cover 2 topics today, but when you start talking about those topics, you could branch off into other things. Like I think we did that a couple times.
Yeah,
like
I
we
think
started
so.
talking about we started talking about things that really didn't what we didn't plan for.
Like ghosts, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think we planned the ghost thing.
No, I don't think we
Well,
planned
we
the
talked
ghost
about
thing.
the ghost ship, but not really the ghost like a person ghost.
Yeah, but yeah, that's one thing that we talked about, and we just started talking about it because we thought about it, and it'd be a cool idea.
Plus, we're little, it's our first podcast. We're a little nervous, so sorry about that, guys.
There's probably a lot of awkward silence too, but
Well, not really. I think we've been pretty good at that so far.
yeah, we have been actually.
It's just when the cat knocked the mic there. It's not our
cat.
fault.
I was actually planning on keeping her outside of the room, but I don't know why. I
I
guess
think she was
stayed
doing
in.
so good at first. She was just laying on the bed looking at us, and now she got all crazy. She saw a ghost, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just to touch back on the whole dog thing. Like, could you imagine having a pet dog, and then you're in like your house? Let's say the house that you're in now, and when you say you feels like you're being watched sometimes, and like all of a sudden they start like barking at nothing.
Well, I mean, it happens all the time. They hear a noise outside, they'll bark.
I suppose.
No, it's like if they look at the ceiling, for example, and then they bark. You're like, wow, man, what's going on here?
Or if they like they look at like nothing for like 10 seconds and he's like start growling.
Well, just like at the ceiling or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if ghosts walk or if they like float. I don't know. I've never seen a ghost.
I hope I see one day. That'd be so goddamn cool.
Do you think they're like Casper a little bit, or?
No, I don't know. I've seen some people just say they walk.
My mom believes in ghosts like nobody's business, and she watches those show on which it's on French television, so it would be the equivalent of Discovery Channel.
Okay.
And it's just like this show that she always watches. She's always so scared of watching that show, but yet she still watches it, right? I think she just likes that feeling.
People like being scared. I don't know why. Just people like. I don't know if everybody likes being scared, but I know me personally. I like being scared. Like, if I want to watch a scary movie by myself.
Well, it depends on like what kind of like if it's a sketchy dude that comes up to you with a knife and you're scared, are you gonna be like, oh, I like it, I'm scared?
There's a little difference between getting mugged and watching a scary movie.
No, but I mean you're still scared.
Yeah, but
It's a different scare, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Like for me, I like being. I don't know. There's probably a specific name for being scared of that stuff, but that would be me. I like watching scary movies with like no lights on. Like I've watched. I remember this. I don't know.
Scary movies now are kind of stupid though. I think the good is gone.
Now they are. Yeah, there was only probably a handful of really good scary movies that came out in the last like 10 years.
What is your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie? That's a good one.
I think mine would be. I don't know if it's a scary movie or not though, but I really like Misery.
Misery.
Yeah,
That
was really good.
From the Stephen King novel.
Yes.
Is it your favorite?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow. My favorite scary movie. Wow. I can't even like. I've watched a lot of scary movies. It's just so hard to pinpoint which one I like the most.
Was there like a movie about? Do you like movies more like about ghosts or about like demons or about like I don't know, scarecrows or?
Scarecrows.
What was that movie about with the scarecrow in it? Oh, was it?
It's talking about Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a scarecrow though. It
Huh?
sort of looked like one, but like it's an actual like
Oh,
demon.
is it more like a crow thing?
He had wings and
Oh,
he
yeah,
flies. Yeah, like
But like when the movie started, he was a scarecrow though, right? Kind of thing. Like wasn't he hanging like on that like a wood like a
with
weird
I think the
wooden
first
post
time
thing?
you seen him, I think he was. Yeah.
Okay.
But like with that movie, I remember I saw that movie and it was scary. because I saw it and it was like the first half of the movie was like,
Plus, you're probably like 8.
yeah, I can't remember when I watched it, but
Because
it
that
was
came
long.
out like I think early 2000.
2002 probably.
Yeah.
But when I first watched it, yeah, it was scary. But like now there's Jeepers Creepers 2 and like 3. I think they're coming up with a fourth one.
Well, it's the same as Saw, right? Now it's like Saw 35.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
There's a new one coming out. If it's not all, it's just called Jigsaw.
I remember like the first one came out and I was like, wow, this is good, you know. Then the second one came out, yeah, it's still good. And then third one came out, you're like, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
and
no,
then 4.
the first one was really, really cool. The whole thought of like 2 people being trapped in a room and like they have like fine little things to get out, that was really cool. And he had to cut off his, spoiler alert, he had to cut off his ankle to escape. That was cool. And like, it seems like at first in the movies, it seems like they're kidnapping like innocent people, but really they did like pretty shitty stuff.
Oh, I didn't remember that part.
Because like, remember the guy who cut his ankles off, he was a doctor, remember?
Oh, he killed someone or something?
I can't remember what happened, but he was a doctor and he did something. If I know, you know what? If I remember correctly, I think it was that Jigsaw guy. I think he had cancer or something.
Okay.
And he treated him or something, or he
So
did
that's
something.
that creepy old guy, right?
Yeah.
Is he the one that wears the mask also?
No,
Okay.
he's the one that does the voices.
Oh, okay.
Like, I want to play a game. Like he's the one that did
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
But if I remember, the people who wear like those big pig faces is just people who sort of work for him.
No, but I mean, like, you know that creepy little dude there? He's got like a white face and like those round thing on his cheek.
That's just a doll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's just
he's
a doll
like
and Yeah, it's Jigsaw, but like that whole doll thing is just like a doll that on a bicycle. That's all it is. Oops, my foot just kicked the mic.
Oh, sorry.
It was my foot.
I don't know why I'm saying sorry. I didn't kick it. You did.
You're just saying sorry to the audience. It's just fine. You're probably hearing a lot of like squealing and stuff. That's just my chair. I need to pick a better chair next time.
Dylan can't sit for like 5 minutes.
No, I'm always moving. I can't stop. So what are we talking about?
Talking about favorite scary movies.
The Saw movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that doll with like the red circles on his face. That's just a doll. That's just like.
It's just so he doesn't show his own face.
Yeah, like whenever he like plays those videos and he's like, I want to play a game. He like makes the mouth move like a puppet.
Talking about scary shit, do you remember this board game? Like, it was like you had a VHS, you had to put that on. I can't remember the name of that game, man.
I thought you were talking about Ouija for a second.
No.
We played that game too when I was younger. Oh my god. I remember my grandmother has one, a Ouija board, and it's like 30, 40 years old.
Was it like made out of wood?
I don't know. No, but I remember I don't think it's made out of wood, but she had it for years. And every time, like we go over, not every time we go over, but sometimes we take it out and everybody's hand would be on it, and then we ask questions, it would start to move. But the thing with that is like if somebody,
There's always some asshole that's gonna move the thing,
like
right?
if you're, like if there's 3 people's hands on the little, I don't know what it would be called, I guess the moving piece, I guess, if it's on it, and then if somebody moves a tiny bit and then somebody's hand follows, then everybody just starts following each other. But I mean,
I never had the chance as a kid growing
oops,
up.
that was my foot again. I gotta stop moving.
I never had the chance growing up to play that game because my mom wouldn't buy it because she was scared of that board, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I saw, no joke, a real Ouija.
Ouija, I don't know. It's spelled like Ouija, but I've always said Ouija board.
Okay. Anyway, the first time I saw one of those, no joke, I was like 21. Like
First time.
Yeah, my girlfriend had one in her closet. And I was like, oh, a Ouija board. Like, I had never seen that before. Like,
Yeah.
no joke. And then this is funny. So I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, well, I'm going to put it on the bed and, like, try it, I guess. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you never know. So anyway, I put that down. I was by myself. And then I just asked a question. And, like, the thing would move. I was like, oh, well, fuck this bullshit. Like, what the heck? Like, I'm not going to, like, waste my time with this shit.
that game has to be
So-
played with a group of people.
Yeah.
To be more like scary, I guess.
So I just left the board on the bed. It was in my girlfriend's bedroom. Anyway, so then the night goes on, we go out, whatever. And then on our way back, there was a friend of my girlfriend, friend of mine, I guess. She was coming back with us. So then we go back in the house, and she didn't hear us, but we were like, okay, we're going to go get some food. And we just left the house, right? So she didn't know we left. And she knew she was by herself, so she got upstairs and she saw the Ouija board on the bed. and she got so freaking scared. Like she just fucking ran down the basement and stuff. She was looking for us. She was yelling our names and
Oh my
stuff.
God.
But we were not even there. So
Wow.
we showed up and she was like pale. Like she's that much scared of a fucking Ouija board.
Wow.
Like that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, that board, I don't know why it's like, I guess that is the board that people use to try to talk to spirits. Because if a spirit can move it, then it can talk and it can point to letters and stuff.
Oh, I think I remember the name of that game. It was called, I think it was Atmosphere or something like that. You've never played that before?
No,
So you had like a video of a dude. He dressed kind of like a Jedi in Star Wars, but like his face was as the like he would like say like things on the screen, and as you progressed in the game, his face would like rot.
wow.
That was a really cool game.
That's kind of cool.
And I remember like you had a VHS with it and all that stuff.
Well,
and
it must have
was,
been, must have been a French game.
No. It was in English too because I'm pretty sure my girlfriend said she played it as well. So.
Oh, I've never heard that game before.
Well, maybe they stopped making it after a while because like it was all on VHS. I wonder if you'd still be able to go to Toys R Us and if they had like.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
VHS tapes?
No, not VHS, but I mean, like, it'd be like a USB stick now. Like a DVD or something.
Like plug it in your iPhone?
Well, you could probably just friggin' go on YouTube and look at it.
Yeah, you probably could.
Like, it was really creepy. It was really fun, though. Cool game.
Actually, while you were talking, like, I remember, like, talking about ghost stories. Like, I remember a lot of my friends have ghost story. I don't know why I like saying ghost stories, but like I remember one of my friends. It was actually so like creepy when he talks about it because he was so certain of it. So they live in a house with a basement, and their grandfather used to live with them. I think like because before he died or whatever, he was old and he could barely move. So he just lived with them, and he lived in the basement. But they had like one of those escalators that go like a chair you sit in and it takes you upstairs.
Oh yeah,
that's what he had. But anyways, this is a long time ago. So the story there is like whenever he died, my friend went downstairs one day, and no joke, he tells a story, but his sister told me the story too. Like he went downstairs.
Was it like similar versions or was it like completely?
No, like it happened to him, but I've only heard her version of it. Like it's kind of weird. He tells it too, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Okay.
She just tells me how he came up the stairs because he went downstairs, and he ran up the stairs. He made it up the stairs in like 2 seconds. And he was in panic. He was like, oh my God. Like, they called him Papa. He was like, oh my God, I saw Papa. Like, he said he went downstairs and he opened the door to his old room. And he was just like, I think he saw him either just standing there or sitting on the rocking chair. Like, could you imagine how fucking creepy that would be?
Yeah. I mean, that's
Holy
like the ghost of your dead grandfather. Like, holy shit,
yeah.
man.
So there was that one.
I think it's even creepier when it's like a family member than if it's like a total stranger.
Yeah, because you're sort of relating to them a little bit.
Yeah, and like, how does that make you feel? Like, you see like a loved one as a ghost. You're like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah, that must really fuck you up.
Like, do you feel like, well, you're scared, obviously, but like, imagine if it like happens more than once. Do you just sit there and like you watch them or something? Like, I would actually try to talk to them. I think.
Do you think so?
Well, maybe
See,
not.
like this goes back to what I was saying a while ago. If like talking about it now, you'd be like, oh yeah, I try to talk to them, but if it actually happens, you'd probably be like, oh my God, what the fuck, and you'd run. You could just, but anyway. So yeah, that's what happened to friends of mine, and they had another story from the same house. That girl, she had a sleepover one time.
Okay.
And there was two of them.
So there was not a related person, like it was one of their friends or something.
That happened to them.
No, I mean like the next story you're on, like it was in the same house.
It's in the same house.
But was it like
different
not the
people.
brother and sister?
It was the sister. It was her friends.
Oh, okay.
Because they were brother and sister, but like this happened to like he saw his grandfather. That's what he said, and then but this is something else that happened in the same house, just with the same sister, I guess. So what happened there is I remember they told us a story, and they were so freaked out. There was 3 of them. 2 of them were sleeping in her bed, and no one was sleeping on the couch. And in the middle of the night, she heard a baby crying. How fucking creepy is that?
Was that like that grandfather ghost that turned into a baby?
No, but like, how creepy would that be? You're just sitting down, you're trying to sleep. It's middle of the night. You hear fucking baby crying.
And you know for a fact there's no fucking baby in the house.
Yeah, there's no babies in the house. And then they told me that story, and I was like, oh wow, that's creepy as fuck. And I remember one time I was like, I remember I asked her this. I was like, let's bring a Ouija board to your house. She's like, no. I'm not.
Were
She's
you
like,
like, Grandma, can I borrow your Ouija board?
no. No, actually, I wanted to. I remember like 2 years ago, I wanted to borrow it, and she's like, oh, I don't know where it is. Somebody borrowed it and they didn't give it back. I was like, oh, assholes.
They should have like a system like a library.
Yeah. Anyways,
Whoever borrows it, Ouija board, they have to write it down on the card.
if I can scan it, beep. So yeah, and they told me that story, and I was like, wow, that's creepy. And then I remember I went to their house one time, and there was this creepy ass painting in the living room. It was a painting, if I can remember correctly, it was a painting of a little girl from the back, like you could just see the back of her head, and she had a dress on and stuff. It was like she was like behind a wall, and I was like, oh, there's your problem. It's a fucking haunted painting. Because the painting was so creepy itself, and I was
But
like,
was
oh.
it like, okay, so the ghost girl, is it the same girl that's on the painting?
What? No, it's a complete. It's like the girl is not like somebody they know.
Okay.
It's just like this random painting of a girl. Anyways, I'll try to find a picture of it, show you one day.
You
but-
should have asked like where did they get it? Like get it from like a.
Oh, I never
like a
asked.
garage sale or
Because
something,
I
or-
remember I seen it and I was like, that's probably why your house is haunted. This fucking painting.
Maybe
Because
that's something we should Google later. Haunted painting.
haunted paintings. Speaking of haunted paintings, you ever watch that movie? What's it called? It's on Netflix. It's about this, not a painting, but it's a haunted mirror.
I think there was one of those in Mario 64 on Nintendo 64. Wasn't there like a light where there's like ghosts and shit?
Haunted paint, maybe.
I'm pretty sure that was Mario 64. That was a good game.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think of this movie name, but I can't. Anyways, point is, it was a haunted mirror, and that just reminded me of a haunted painting because.
Oh, isn't it just called The Mirror?
No, there's a movie called Mirrors,
Okay.
but it's something completely different.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what this one's called. I think that was one of the handful of movies that I saw in the last 10 years that was really scary. It was really good.
I can't remember when was the last time I watched a scary movie that was actually good. Well,
Do you see It?
yeah, I did. Yeah, that was good. I mean,
Yeah.
it was good. Was it better than the original one? I don't know.
It's been so long since I saw the original. Plus, it's like 4 hours long.
I know someone we know said that they watched the person watched the new It and they watched the old It after, and they were like the old one looked tacky or something.
Well, you got to think about it. It was in the 80s. So the effects of today are a lot better. But you got to think about it. Like, yeah, the effects are shitty and the graphics suck and stuff. But in the 80s, that probably scared the shit out of people.
Oh, for sure. But not only that, like back then they had like the quality like of their television was not as good as it is now. So
yeah.
all those
So you're not watching like movies in like a 4K high definition.
well, exactly.
You're
right?
watching on TVs on old box TVs.
So even though it was like the effects were a little shitty, like it probably still looked good in like that time television.
Yeah, they still go see it in theaters though.
Like the old It.
Well, I don't know if that was because that
Did
wasn't
the
a
quality of theater change from the 80s to now? Probably.
well, yeah, because he was probably.
Quality of the seat.
I remember. I think like it was just recently they switched it from. They used to use reels. Remember at the movies?
Oh yeah.
But now they use digital something.
Then they would tape it all up when it broke.
Yeah, but no, they probably used those in the 80s. That was only must be recently they started using those because I remember when I used to go to the movie theater in Bathurst, you could actually like not hear like the reel,
Or like the.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you could actually like look up and the thing and you
And
like
could
see it
like-
flashing. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
so you would know it was an old reel.
Did you watch the old It?
Whoops, that was my foot again. Did I because like it's 4 hours long, right? It's really long. But when I think if I would have watched it, I think it would have been like a little bit of it. I don't think I watched it from start to finish.
Okay.
If I have a couple hours to waste, I should watch it because just to see what that was like back then and see like an actual person like just looked like a regular clown like in that movie because he didn't look scary like the new one like the new one he looks creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
But the old one he just looks like a regular clown.
Yeah. Well, I
And,
think that's probably why people are scared of regular clowns.
And a lot
That
of
much.
yeah, and I think a lot of it was. What was that serial killer's name who dressed up as a clown?
Oh.
He killed like 20 some kids and he had him in his crawl space in his basement.
Oh, I can't remember.
But you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, I think so.
So people would probably think of him and like associate it with the movie. That's probably why people were scared of clowns.
There was also that clown phase that people had like last year.
What's that?
You remember?
Oh yeah, yes. They didn't happen this year.
No,
I thought I thought for sure it would have with the
Yeah,
with
right
the new,
after It.
Yeah, right after the new It movie.
Also, the new. Have you watched the new American Horror Story?
No, not yet.
I guess it's called Cult, and it's like they dress as clowns in that too.
Yeah.
So I guess clown is the trend.
And even in what's it called? Circus? Is it called Circus?
Yeah, I think there was creepy. Yeah,
There was
yeah.
a creepy clown,
The-
Smiley. His name
But
was. I
that
think.
that creepy clown is now in Cult also. Like when the first scene of that Cult TV show, it's that creepy clown. It's
Really?
like-
Is it the same character, like the same clown?
oh yeah, it's because first it's weird. Okay, so that clown in the new Cult, like it starts as like it was a couple, and they're just like having like a picnic in the park, I guess, but not really. They're gonna fuck, like they're just there, right? And then like he shows up, and then the other guy's like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" And so he has a gun for some reason. Anyway, so he shoots the clown, and then like of course like the clown doesn't die, right? He just keeps going, and then he murders them both.
Wow.
And then like the scene cuts, and then it's like this young kid reading. It's actually a comic book, like in the new Cult, that clown from Circus. What is it? Is that?
No, it's not. It's not called Circus. It's called Freak Show.
Yeah, Freak Show. Yeah,
I
sorry.
said Circus. I couldn't think of the name, but it's Freak Show.
Yeah, Freak Show. So that clown from Freak Show is now in Cult but he's like a comic book character.
A comic book character.
Yeah,
Oh, that's weird.
yeah. It's really weird.
Man, that show is weird. But I do like the idea of every series is different. Like every season is its own series.
I don't find it as good as it used to be though. Like you know,
Yeah.
like season 1 was really good. That haunted house.
Yeah,
That was
real.
that was brilliant. That was
It
really
was,
good.
yeah.
And then, what was it after that? It was Asylum.
Asylum.
Asylum was fucked.
It was good too.
Like it was so good. Like, oh man, I just felt like punching the TV every time I watched it.
It was, yeah.
And then after that was Coven.
Coven, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't like that one. That was my least favorite.
That's actually my girlfriend's favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like witches and stuff.
Yeah, she
It's
likes that
cool.
stuff.
I like the girl who acts in it. She's hot, but that's about it. Like
Then-
I watched it all, but I didn't really like it. It's not my favorite.
I think my favorite of all was Asylum.
Yeah, probably mine too. Yeah, like I like the whole thing with like all the nuns and the priests and,
And then
stuff.
like the Nazi scientist guy, whatever.
Oh yeah, that was really that was awesome.
Like it seemed that like episode 1 would go and episode 2 would be even like it would be worse. It just got worse, right? It's
Yeah.
just, like I mean, not worse that it's not good. I mean, worse that it's super fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's just like the situation just got worse,
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching it and I was like, oh my god, I felt like burning my couch and like blowing my TV with a hammer.
Oh my god.
Man, that was so good.
That's a little crazy. What was that I think it was American Horror Story when it was Kathy Bates was in it.
That
And
was
she played like that girl from the 1500s or whatever that like kill people.
that was in Coven.
It was Coven?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I thought it was.
I think that's when she started, and now she's in like every one of them. But I'm not sure if she's in Cult because I only watched it till episode like 2 or 3.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if she's still in there, but she was in Coven, and then the one after that which was Freak Show.
She was in that one?
Yeah, she was the woman with the beard.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And then there's the hotel one I never watched. I
Me
watched
neither.
like one episode maybe, and I was like, nah, hotel like, whatever. Then there was that one called Roanoke, whatever.
Roanoke?
Yeah, she was in that one, but now she's not in the new one in Cult. I don't think.
She's not? No. But yeah. Yeah, I think we should wrap it up. Geez, we almost got an hour here.
Oh.
For our first podcast. We got pretty carried away the last little bit.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, that was our first podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end, we will definitely see you on the next one. Hopefully you keep listening. Hopefully this interests you.
Actually, thanks for listening. If you're listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you're listening, and what we're gonna do is we don't have anything right now, but we're hoping for the next podcast, or if we start getting viewers, to like set up in some sort of email. So if you guys want to hear certain topics or anything, let us know. We'll definitely talk about it. So yeah, that wraps up our.
And you guys can catch us on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, we're gonna try to upload this to YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. I think, just to try to get on as much platforms as we can. I was gonna say something. Oh, whatever. I lost my train of thought.
All right.
Anyways, guys, we'll see you on the next podcast. Peace out. Take care.
Thank you very much. See ya.